Hey, 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 it's Elegant Granny, your restoration strategist and your creator and host of the Proactive Eye podcast. Y'all, I'm a little bit clearer today because I found one of my toys. I'm trying to get the light right. I found my ring light because remember, I told you I went through so many transitions this year. Relocating was one of them. So a lot of my work equipment have been packed up, and today I was determined that I was going to find some of my work materials. So I found my ring light, and I'm excited because some of my videos would get to be clear now and my lives. So anyway, how are you doing? I hope you are about to enjoy a really good weekend. I feel like I am. I plan to do a lot of resting, not a lot of work. I'll do a little minimal. I have quite a bit of homework I need to do, so I will get some of those things done, but I'm not going to do much. But anyway, today I am going to talk about three top myths about victims of abuse that people talk about, and they truly believe these things, and none of these things are true. None of them. None of them are true. There are three. There are way more than this, but I'm only going to talk about three. The first one is that people believe victims of abuse are weak, and that the abuser choose those who are weak. That is so far from the truth. Who they choose, most in general, are people with attributes that they want, but they do not want to do the work that that person has had to do to get those attributes, or those people sometimes were already born with those attributes, and these people want that. Sometimes these same said people, the abusers. Hello, JJ Jennings, how you doing? Long time no hear. Nice seeing you again. Sometimes they want to drain you. There's something that they know that they need, and instead of doing the work, they drain the person of that. The person that they say they love, the person that they say they want to be with. They drain them dry of certain things in these banks that these people had. And what I mean by banks, I don't mean financial, although financial abuse is a part of it, but what I mean is their energy banks. And they love to drain you of that, but they do not choose weak people. What they do is they choose people that are also a challenge because they love challenges, but they don't want you to challenge them, if that makes sense. I know that sounds conflicting, but it's a true thing. They see themselves in people. They see the strong person that they see themselves in, or that they think they are, in that person. And so they choose this person because they see something in them that they want. And they get with this person and they honeymoon them until they win them over. And then things go down from there. But they do not choose the weak. Most in general, from my own personal experience, and also people that I have supported, because I am a supporter of those who were victims and survivors. They don't choose the weak. You have people, most of the victims have been people with education, some with no education, but they have their wits about them. Nothing about them says weak. It's just that they ended up with somebody who lied to them, who did not end up being who they portrayed themselves to be. But they do not choose weak people. Just because someone ends up with an abuser does not mean they are weak. Sometimes The victim has to be very, very intelligent in order to stay alive with the person that they are with. There are some people, some abusers you can walk away from. Those are the ones who have narcissistic traits, but they are not narcissists. And there is a difference. And I will go through that in another video. But today I want to stay on task on debunking these three myths. Now, they're not weak. They're not weak. You have to be very intelligent when you're living with these people. You have to be very strategic when you are dealing with these people because there are different types of narcissists. You have your covert, you have your overt, you even have your predators. And that's a whole nother lie. Those who are predators, you have some who are very predatory. It doesn't matter what they have to say or do to get this person. They actually watch you for a while, which is what happened in my case. They watch you for a while. They don't just all of a sudden meet you and then they sense your aura and all of that stuff. No, these predatory narcissists, they watch you for a while, meaning they're not choosing anybody weak because they're very strategic in who they want and how they want them. These people that they choose, they have a lot that they want. And they are determined that they are going to get it. But they don't choose weak people. They choose very bright people. They also choose challenges because they enjoy challenges. But like I said, they don't want the person that they choose to be the one to challenge them. The second thing is you had to have seen red flags. That's another one. You don't always see them. And there are some people who really believe that you chose not to see it. No. When it comes to, now that may be the truth in some cases, but not all cases. Some cases, in particularly if you have a predatory narcissist, you're not going to see those signs. They are that very cunning. They give the true meaning to con artist. That's the reason why they put artist behind that word con, because they are very, very masterful in portraying themselves as the person that you were looking for. Like I said, these are the same ones who watch you. I have heard people who they said that person that they were with literally told them that they watched them for 3, some 4 years before they even approached them, as to give you any sense of what I mean by predatory narcissists. Yes, they have narcissism, and most people understand narcissists are very impatient. Not the ones that are predatory. They are very strategic and they have a lot of patience. They do. They will wait as long as they feel they need to get everything they need to know about you, about your patterns, about even down to what makes you smile. This is even before you even engage in a conversation. They watch you online. They watch you if they see you in public. They watch you. They will follow you. You won't even know that they're following you. Sometimes you thinking, hey, that maybe they work around this area. But you know what? That's how it is when you're dealing with those. You don't always see the signs. You really don't. I didn't start seeing signs until it was a year and a half into the marriage. And he had came back from one of his lectures. And I was like, did you have a good trip? Did something happen on your trip? And he didn't want to answer. And then the answer that I got later, it was the way he answered. And I was like, okay. I didn't care for that answer. And then he called me out of my name. I'm like, first of all, That's not what we're going to do. We've never done that before, and this is not what I want. And once he calmed down, he apologized. Because I told him, I said, no, I don't call you out of your name. You're not going to call me out of mine. That's something I don't even do, even as a joke. I don't do that as a joke. That's just something I don't believe in. And his family members, sometimes they do it playfully, as a joke. Not me. That's just something, I draw the line there. I don't do it as a joke. But you, with predatory narcissists, you're not going to see signs. You're not. You're just not. Not everybody ignores or denies red flags. They don't. So, like I said, when it comes to predators, you're not going to know. That's why they prey. That's the reason why they're predators. Because with predators, you're not going to always know. Sometimes you may have what they call a sixth sense, and you can pick it up, intuitively. But some of them are con artists, and they are masterful at even covering up to the point where you can't even sense it. And that does not mean that person is weak. It's just that they are that skillful. And a lot of people, and I'm going to tell you at the end the reason why I'm bringing all these up. So I'm going to say that. The third one is that I've heard people say they must like people who treat them that way. No, nobody wants to be treated that way. Nobody. Not even the ones who even joke about it. Most people who end up with people that way have some things that they did not heal from childhood. Some people, there are some things that were passed down to them generationally, and it is a karmic thing. That's a whole nother live too. So it's not that they like those types. There is something about them that another person sees, and they see a way in. Because these people, they gonna try their way to get in any kind of way they can. It doesn't matter how they get in, they will get in. If you are not aware of them doing that. And if they are predatory, it is very, very hard for you to pick that up. It really is. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are someone who says, I can always feel them. I'm telling you, keep having that mindset. You're going to run up against somebody who is just as skillful as you are psychic. You are going to meet up with someone who is just as skillful as how smart you think you are when it comes to people. You're going to run up into them because life will remind you, this is what you said, and it's time for you to take that test. That's not something I would wish on anybody. So those are the top 3 things that people tell me that they deal with. These are the same 3 things that I dealt with as a victim of abuse or as a survivor of abuse, even as a supporter who shares her story. But the reason why I chose these top 3 is because, first of all, victims and survivors get tired of people saying it, first of all, because that's not who they are. They are people. And not only that, people don't realize when they say those things, they are victim blaming, which is a whole nother live as well. They are victim blaming. I know some of you really don't mean to do that, but that's what's happening. You are victim blaming. You have taken that that situation or the accountability off of the abuser, and you have placed it on the victim. They already victimized. They're already hurting. They're already full of pain, and you just added pain over top of what that person just did to them. That's not good. That's not good at all. And it will come back. Yes, it will come back. I know you didn't mean to. Some of you did not mean to do that. But I would suggest asking yourself questions, trying to be empathic as much as possible. And even if it's somebody that you know who is going through abuse and you know that they are going through abuse, find out what goes in their mind. Have serious conversations with them. Try to understand why they are making the decisions that they are making. It could just be that they are actually surviving just to save their life. Case in point, the masterful, predatory narcissist that I was married to, there was no just walking out. A victim knows what they're dealing with. You may not know, because this is something my mother taught me as a teen. There's a different story behind every closed door. And unless you're on that side of it, you're not going to know what's going on. Sometimes people live things out with someone who is harming them because that's how they know they're going to live, until they see some ray of hope of them being somewhere else, having something else to sustain them on the other side. Now, I understand. Sometimes you may say, and I've heard people say this, I don't care what I have to do. I'll live in the street. Okay. Once again, you may not have thought that through, because if they go somewhere and be homeless, not all shelters are going to be open to them. Shelters run out of space quickly. A lot of times these same people do not have family that they can go to. They do not have friends that they can go to, because the people that they have with them, the abusers have them so alienated that no one wants to deal with them. The family members, the friends, they are on the side, typically end up on the side of the husband. Not all of them. Some of them are on the victim side, but they get very emotional and they don't know how to keep things under a wrap. And a lot of times the victim does not trust that person that they feel close to keep their mouth shut long enough to keep them safe. Because one of the most dangerous times for the victim is in the process of leaving that person that's harming them. And if they have children or an elder to take with them, that makes it even more dangerous, because it's not just their life, it's the lives of these other people. So I wanted to come on today just to give you some things to think about. I only gave you the top 3 that I hear all the time. These are not all of them. At another time, I will share some of the other ones that people project onto victims of abuse, and they're not good. These are some things I want you to think about. The next time you hear of someone or you see someone, don't be so quick to judge why they are still with that person. You really don't know. There are some people who can just get up and walk away. There are some people who really cannot. If they did that, they would die. So I want you to think before you just speak, because the word you speak may come back. I don't want that for you, okay? So this is Elegant Granny just sharing a little bit so that you can be mindful. I want you to have a good weekend. Love you all. Thank you for listening. Those who are coming back to the replay, thank you so much. Leave some comments of some things that you heard people say, or even some things that you said that you wasn't even aware of, and then you thought about it because you listened to this. You know what? I thought such and such and such and such, you know. And if you would like some support because you know of someone who is in that situation, you can hit the call me button, okay? Hit the call me button in my profile and we can talk. So, once again, this is Elegant Granny, your restoration strategist and your creator and host of the Proactive Eye podcast. Have a good weekend. Have some fun. Take care of yourself. Love you.